Hi, this is Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. What we're going to be doing today is a May month close and a June week 1 cash stuffing. So I definitely love the cash stuffing. Sometimes I don't always love the closeout of the month, but this was actually an okay month. So let's go ahead and get started. So for groceries, I only had one expense, and that was for $156 on the 23rd. So I only had 144 left. So I was over. By $12, which not too bad considering how I was tracking at the beginning of the month. For eating out and allowance, I used the money for one meal, and that was a place called Popo's. It's not Italian, it's a Mexican food restaurant. I took my daughters and my son-in-law to lunch, and the bill was $100, which was quite surprising. I didn't think it was going to be that expensive. So I used my eating out money and I used my allowance. So I have $0 left in both of those categories. For personal care, I had $50 left, and what I did was I am going to have a spa day in June. So I took the money and went ahead and filled my cash envelopes for the tips. So that was $50. So this is kind of rolling over to June based on the fact that my appointment's in June, but I wanted to take what was left in May to fill those. So for personal care, that is $0. Giving, I spent $100. It's done. Recreation, I didn't have anything. Clothing. So what I did with clothing, I did have $50 left in my envelope because, you know, I'm trying to save up my clothing money. So I went ahead. Where's clothing? Oh, right here. So what I did was I rolled it into my envelope already. So I have $150 left, and I still have $9 in my account that goes into this envelope. But I'm trying to kind of let this roll over. So I went ahead and moved that. So I didn't spend anything, so I still had $159. And for medicine, I spent $10. I should have $25 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 25 left. I'm going to let that roll over. And every other envelope in here is completely empty. Groceries, eating out, allowance. Back to bank. I took it back to the bank, and then I used it, part of it for cash stuffing. Clothing, I've already moved. Recreation's empty. My mom's envelope is empty. Household is empty. You saw me take that all back to the bank to pay for my mop, and then the rest are here. So, yeah, very ready to start stuffing some envelopes. So when I look at my sinking funds, kind of all over the board, but not too bad. So for my car, of course, it's still there. I think we are getting closer there. For Christmas and gifts, I budgeted $1,000. I put $800 in my account, and then I left $200 in my checking account. So I put $800 in my savings account for gifts and Christmas. I left $200 in my checking account. I spent $400 out of the $800 that I left. So I'm starting the month of June with $2,627 in that account. Fitness, I didn't spend anything, so I'm still with $200. With medical copays, I added $200. I spent $39, so I still have $161 in that account. For vacation, I added $500. I didn't spend anything, so I have $1,804 left there. For my Etsy shop, this will surprise no one. I started with $509. I added $235. I spent $300. I now have $444. I had 2 things renew in the month of May that I really had kind of forgotten that they were May renewals. One was Skillshare, and the second one was my domain. So I do need to get kind of a handle of that, of when all the rest of my renewals are going to be. For technology, I started with $21.61. I took out $500 to make a payment. The balance is $16.61. My balance on my computer is $945. So there'll be a June payment and less of a July payment. So I will end up with 161 minus 945. So I'll still have $716 left in this once I finish paying for my computer. And that kind of I'll start to build this up again in case something happens to my phone or something happens to my iPad, something like that I need to replace. My savings challenge, I started with 1,510. I added 500. I now have 2,010. My birthday, I started with 450. I added 200. I used 300. I have now $350. For my mom, I started with 0. This was a new sinking fund for me. I added $100. I spent, actually I did spend this 25 as well. We keep changing around her bedding. I don't know what's happening with that, but I'm starting back at 0. And then cosmetics, I never ended up funding. And so all of my income came in as expected. And then when I look over here at the ones that are categories, but that I do not use for cash envelopes, for gas, I ended up over $5. So I had budgeted $150, and then I spent $155. For craft and planner supplies, I had budgeted $100. I spent $129, so I took the $29 out of the miscellaneous. So I could probably budget $500 for that, and I'm going to spend $500. So I don't know. I think I budgeted a little bit more for the month of June because there is going to be a washi pre-sale at the Coffee Monster Co. So, okay. So that is how May turned out. Not a bad month overall. Only over in a few categories. So the month of June, I did post a video on a couple days ago, I think it was Wednesday, on my June setup. So this is my June budget. So overall, same income. It is a 5-week month as far as the way my calendar rolls. So my lifestyle came up this month because of that, because I added more to each category. That only gave me $2,500 in sinking funds. Okay, I had to stop the camera for a minute, talk to my dad. Now I'm back, so I'm not sure where I was. I think I was just going over sinking funds. So I had sinking funds, $2,551, and this is how I broke it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the cash stuffing. So for the month of June, I'm going to bring this in a little bit. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 birthdays and an anniversary this month. Not all of them. We do gifts, we do more cards and things like that for the adults. My June money goals are 15 no spend days, 10 Macari sales, and 100 or less in craft stickers, which we already know that's going to be a hard goal for me to make. The Macari sales, what I've been doing is I've been posting things on Macari, and I've just been leaving the money in the account. And I'm using that kind of as a Black Friday. So last year, if you were watching my channel last November, I went a little crazy with all the sales that were happening on Black Friday with like sticker shops and things like that, all the promotions. And I spent part of my Christmas money. So this year I decided to do a little differently and kind of earn back the money that I'm going to spend on Black Friday. So it's forcing me to, or I should say encouraging me to use Macari and sell things that I really don't need or want and keep that money there versus spending it again. So currently I think I have close to $400 in there. So I want to get back into the habit of doing so many listings per week. And so that would translate to 10 Mercari sales. So that is my goal. And then I'm just going to leave that money and let it accumulate until February. Or I'm sorry, until November. I literally cannot talk today. Okay, so this is how I laid out my budget for June. Most of this will be, I'll fill in off camera just to kind of give you an idea of how I laid it out. This is a newer kit in my shop. So the layout should be very similar. I did a few things a little bit different this month. I kind of took some of the ones that I use on my lifestyle page and brought them onto my sinking fund. So for example, gas. We are redoing our trust and our will this month, so I did budget for that. Medical copays, my mom's account. So instead of having them in my weekly check-in, I'm using them here on my sinking funds. And then for my fixed expenses, I've had a few come in already. So my phone bill came in at $302 instead of $320. My water trash came in at $140 instead of $150. So I already have an upside of $28. I won't get some of these other ones till later on in the month. And then my weekly check-in, because it is a 5-week month, that's why I wanted to kind of minimize it a little bit so that I could fit the whole thing on 2 pages. So, and then this will be my total for the month. So by taking out some of the envelopes, that helped me to make it all fit. And I'm just seeing that clothing, where did I put clothing? Oh, so clothing is over here in sinking fund. So that was another one that I won't be checking in on a weekly basis for. And then I really liked the way the transaction log came out for last month. So I went ahead and did that here. And then on this side, this is going to be the categories that I do spend out of that are my sinking funds are going to go here, just so that everything reconciles at the end of the month. What I did last month was I put everything on my transaction log, and then I went through and highlighted it, and it just took a lot more kind of thought process and time to track the transactions that way. So this time, anything that I use my Capital One card on that is not really a category, or I'm, you know, like a fixed expense or something like that, goes here. And then anything that I use my Capital One card on that is like gas or my mom or something like that, that is kind of a tracked category, will go onto this page. And just, I think it'll be easier for me to see the difference when I'm reconciling my budget. So I'm going to try it. I think it's really important for me as a budgeter, and maybe for you as a budgeter, to make sure that I adjust my budget every month based on what worked and what didn't work the month prior. So if and I have gotten like this sometimes where I just keep doing it the same way and it's not working and I don't take the time to think about it and adjust it, then again, I'm going to get frustrated with budgeting and not feel like I'm being successful. So I like to take a moment at the end of every month and say what worked, what didn't work, what can I adjust to make that work better for me, and then try it out. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. Try something else. So, okay, so let's get to the fun part, which is cash envelope stuffing. So I did go ahead and do the 2 weeks like I did in May. I felt like that worked. And so I'm going to try it again. So I did the first 2 weeks of the month. Now, because this is a 5-week month, the last 3 weeks will be one pull from my account. And it did help to alleviate a lot of the back to the bank that I did in the month of May. And as I say that, you're going to see a gift card here, and I'm going to tell you what that is about. So I should go ahead and count this as I do this. It should be 1,485, but my husband handed me cash because I had cashed something in for him, and he told me to keep it, and I don't remember if I put it in here or if I put it someplace else. I mean, literally it was 5 minutes ago. Well, no, actually it was last night. And then the ones I don't pull from my account, I pull from my dollar jar that I have when I had all those dollars. So for my $100 bills, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 700 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 750s, so $350. And then in my 20s, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80, 320, 320. And then in my 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then in my 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then in the 1s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 1,485, which is correct. Okay, so I always start with groceries, and I already have an issue in the grocery category. So yesterday, I had family in town, and I decided we've kind of been doing rotating dinners. So one sister cooked on Wednesday night, my other sister on Thursday night, and then I took Friday night, and I invited my nieces and my nephews and all the kids over, my children. So there was about 23 people over, and it was the first time we've all gotten together since really Memorial Day last year. We've all now been vaccinated. We've all had COVID now, been vaccinated, fully vaccinated. So we decided while we had family in town, we'd all get together. It's been warm enough in Arizona that I could, say, hey, bring your swimsuit, and the kids could swim and things like that. Long story short, I did not budget for that because I really have not been budgeting for holidays or pool parties, things like that. And I didn't want anybody to bring anything. So we smoked a brisket, all this other stuff. So anyways, again, long story short, I can ramble. I ended up spending $180 in groceries for the day, for, the evening. Now, some of that is food that we needed at the house, but that was very little of it. And some of it is left over, so that will kind of cover our meals for a couple nights this week. So what I had planned to do was, my husband had given me this $200 gift card that his boss had given him. I was going to use it for my vacuum mop. I forgot to use it because I just used my Amazon and I checked out. Then I was supposed to use it for the food for the party since I hadn't budgeted for it, and I left it at home. I didn't have it with me. So I am going to put this into my grocery fund. I'm going to take $200 from my grocery money out and take that back to the bank to pay for the food that I use for the party. So it's kind of, I think it's going to work just fine, but it's going to look a little weird in my tracking. So I'm going to take this card and I'm going to put it in my pocket envelope system. And I'm going to put it in my grocery category. And then I'm going to take $200 from, this was supposed to be in my groceries, and I'm going to put it back in my bank envelope. It's tough when you're starting your month with money in your bank envelope, but it makes sense to me, and that way I feel like I'm not using the cushion from my account. I'm actually using my budgeted money. And then I still have another $100 that will be groceries for next week, because I was doing 150. Oh, it's right here. I was doing 150 per week. And then I still have $300 left in my account. I'm only doing HelloFresh twice in the month of June. So of course that money's there, and then I'll pull out the balance in 2 weeks. So groceries for next week is 100. This week I have 200. Okay, so for eating out, I'm gonna do 50 for this week. Now we are going out tonight, so this may be gone, but I don't know for sure. And then in my eating out will be 50 for next week. So I do give myself $50 a week for eating out, and that's usually plenty unless you take everyone to a Mexican food restaurant and spend $100 when you hadn't planned that. And then for allowance gets the same. So if you've been following along, you know for my birthday, I bought myself a Louis Vuitton wallet. My birthday is in July. And I'm kind of going back and forth on how I want to kind of use this plus the wallet, because normally when I use a wallet, I use tabs inside for like my key categories like groceries, eating out, and allowance. And then I still used envelopes for, you know, the ones that I'm not using on a daily basis. So I kind of think that's what I'm going to stick with because that worked well. I'm kind of excited to have a wallet again, like a real wallet. I feel like this, while this has been replacing my wallet, I still just enjoy having a wallet. So that's kind of where I'm going back and forth. So I may set this up like an everyday carry with envelopes going in and out as I need them, or I may just create a wallet, like an envelope that will fit inside my wallet. I haven't decided yet, but I'm not going to set that up until July. And then for allowance for next week, I have $50. So I don't know if you noticed on my calendar, I had a lot of no spend days earlier this week. Today's Saturday, the 29th, and I had zero money other than a few dollars in medicine for the last 3 days of the month. So, and I did not want to take out of my cushion. So it's nice because I was able to get some no spend days in, but I was really waiting for today to replenish my envelopes. So the next one I'm going to do is clothing. I am not going to use this one unless I take the money out of my other wallet because I really want to save money for clothing. And so I'm going to put the $100 into this envelope instead of that one. That way I'm not tempted to spend that money on something else. And I did put it as a $100 bill. So I now have $250 in my clothing fund, and I'll have another $100 in the back half of this month. I'm just looking at my cheat sheet of how I broke down the cash for each envelope. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, that is what I'm looking at. Okay, so my mom gets 50, and I'm gonna do 2 20s and a 10. I'm leaving the rest of the money in because this month she'll get a haircut and a nail trim, which gets billed to my Capital One card. So half I take out in cash. And what I do with this money is usually, I always bring her food because, you know, she doesn't like the food at the place, but she'll eat it if she doesn't get anything else. So I bring her something she really likes, like a root beer float or a hamburger or something. So between all of us, I think every day we bring her something, and then we keep a little stash of treats in her room. So we all kind of communicate on what she needs there. So that's kind of what this $50 will go for. And then the other 50 that I budget for the month is usually more for her personal care. So my sisters are not happy with me because I just put my card down and kind of been working with the girl at the place. They want to contribute, but honestly, you know, it's something that I like to do for her. So I don't know that we'll change that up. And then for recreation gets 50, right? Let me see. Yes. So it's going to get 2 20s and a 10. I am going to put that in here. Now, the movie theaters are open. We did go to a movie last week. It kind of just was so nice because something I've really missed. So I do think that that will be where most of this money is going to go, because it may go for some tonight. We are going to an Irish restaurant bar for live music. So if I just have like a drink or two, I might just take it out of recreation. Or if we go ahead and eat there, I might just take it out of eating out. I'm not really sure what we're going to do tonight, but either way, it could come out of either one. Household. So I think we pretty much established that my daughter's not cleaning anymore. I did budget $100 for the first half and $100 for the second half. So I'm going to take that $100 and take a $100 bill. I'm not going to put it in here because I don't really need anything for the house. And I kind of just want to save it for something, you know, a little bit bigger, or if she does decide to clean, I want to make sure I have the cash for that. And then the second half, I'll put another $100 in. So right now I'll just put 100 there and put that in my binder. Okay, so what else do I have? So medicine is getting a 50. I am gonna go ahead and put that in my wallet. I say this every time. I don't think we need anything, or there's going to be anything coming up, and then I swear something comes up. But so I'm going to go ahead and put the 50 in plus the 25, so I have 75 in there for now. And then I'll have another 50 at the end of the month. Giving, I still left in the account. I am writing checks now. I was doing it online giving. I did pull some cash out and I was doing cash, but it's weird. There's one little box that you put it in. I just feel safer with the check, so I'll go ahead and write those checks out. And then I just stick the check in here. And then personal care is going to get 50. And I think for this month, because I am doing my spa day, so that will be a pedicure, a facial, and a massage. So I won't be getting a massage this month. That will be out of this category. And I won't be getting a pedicure. So what I may do is go ahead and get my hair cut and colored this month. And then that would kind of help my budget for the month of July. We'll be back to a massage and a pedicure. So I kind of think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 20, 30... personal care, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. I always like to keep personal care in smaller bills just so I have money for tips and things like that. And then if I'm doing a pedicure, then I'll roll over from like another cash stuffing, since it's more than this with tip. So personal care will go in here. And then miscellaneous, I don't fund. I have taken all my receipts out of here. It was really chunky. So that is for these envelopes. So this is ready to go back into my purse. And then, let's see here. So for birthday, I have 250 going in. So 2 $100 bills, right? And a 50. So even though I was pulling it out 50 per week, I started to realize that I stuff it all at one time. So there was really no reason why I couldn't put it all together. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 in birthday. So my original goal was 1,000. I did spend 300. So next month will be a 4-week month. So it'll be 200. So I think I might be... Oh, because my birthday is week 30, so I think that's why. So I should come right in at what I had planned. So I don't know what else we're going to do, but so right now I just have a kind of a cushion deciding on what we're going to do for my birthday. kind of a big birthday. I normally don't save for my own birthday, but this year I did. And then for savings challenge. So savings challenge for this month is 335. So I did 100, 350s, 320s, 110, and 35s. So 100, 250, 270, 290, 310, 320, 25, 30, 35. So that is right. Now I am not going to stuff this week because I stuffed 5 weeks for the challenge in May when it was a 4-week on my budget. So for this week, the way that the sheet rolls out, it's a 4-week month, but my budget's a 5 week. So this will start to go in starting next week. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so savings challenge, birthday, household, clothes, allowance, eating out, groceries, bank, and then the ones that I'm not using this right now is giving, gifts, toiletries, talk about electricity, my mom because she still has, I'm not rolling anything over, recreation because I only took half out, and then personal care I only took half out. So these will go back into my binder as well as the June savings challenge. And then electricity. So I was gonna take this back to the bank last week when I went to the bank, but I decided to, hopefully we'll be able to add for one more month. If I can add for the month of June, meaning that I budgeted $250 and my bill comes in less than that, then once that is in, then I'll take it back to the bank. I honestly don't think my bill is going to be less than $250, so this probably is done as far as my cushion. So currently I have 1, 2, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 80. I have 380 in here, and this was designed to help offset June, July, August, and sometimes September, where my bill goes up so much higher than my normal bill of $250. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this for now, and I'll put it in with my envelopes that go into my sinking funds. So the way I kind of divided my binder, so anything that goes in the pink binder is kind of more of a long-term sinking fund. So it's not something that I access a lot. And then for my, this binder that also has like my check register and things like that, these are the envelopes that I access more often. So they're kind of my, in my daily carry, so groceries, eating out, allowance, clothes, and household. So that's kind of how I have them divided right now. I'm kind of wanting to, you know, simplify this a little bit, like maybe just go with one binder that's maybe a little bit bigger, and then keep my check register in my pocket that goes with me. I don't know. So that is my decision that I'm trying to make right now. And then of course, oh, I did forget all of these. Hold on one moment. So because I'm not really using cash for giving, I'm gonna put my giving, my gifts, because I normally don't keep cash for gifts. I use my card, and then my toiletries, which I have not funded yet, in this binder. And then in this one, well, I'm going to add my mom's envelope and recreation. And just because I get questions, these are in my shop. This is the marble pattern, And then these are stickers that I have foiled in rose gold to label the envelopes. So, and these are fit into a personal size or Filofax binder. And then if you want envelopes for the pocket, I do make them for the pocket, and then I do also sell pouches in my shop that are for pocket, the personal, as well as the A5. A5s must be hard to find because I have sold a ton of them. I actually had to restock them. So, and that is the bigger 5.5 by 8.5 binder. So that is my system currently. It's nice to, oh my God, why do I keep finding more envelopes? Okay, and personal care goes in here. Wow, they just keep, let me look around my desk. Okay, they're all accounted for. Okay, so sinking funds, ones I access more, and then what goes with me in my wallet, so in my purse. So that is cash stuffing for June week 1. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I truly appreciate all of the support that you all give me on my channel and in my Etsy shop. I hope you are looking forward to June and having a great Memorial Day weekend for those of you in the States. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.